Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Um, it's good to be back because I had scheduled videos well into March. You may not even have missed me, other than I'm way behind in watching videos and commenting on other people's videos, as well as replying to my own comments. So I will be playing catch up now. I am feeling better. I took a self-imposed hiatus to try to recover. I am feeling better, but my voice is probably still, to me, it sounds like I'm still hoarse. And anyway, it just, time to get back in the saddle is basically what I'm saying. I, of course, have missed you guys. You matter so incredibly much to me, so I'm glad to be back. And yeah, we'll try to make it business as usual. Anyway, what I want to show you today is an idea, and I'm just, I feel especially bad that I don't remember who did this video first. It's one that I absolutely love, and I want to share it with you. And I may have done this once before, maybe during the 100-day project, but it's you can tell by the stuff that I've laid out here that I'm still working on the blush journals, plural. But let me show you first what it is that we're doing. This is an idea that I think would be great, great for anyone, but especially great for those people who want to dip their toe in the slow stitching water. Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see any of this. I guess this would be the front. Essentially, these are tiny little, so this is about 1.75 inches by 2 inches. Tiny little bases that are ready to be decorated. So I'll just show you a few and then I'll talk about what I've done here. Now the stitch that you're seeing, okay, maybe, this is ribbon. Really nice ribbon with that contrasting thread down the middle. Show you that one last. This is some really soft lace. I think this would have, that Kim Newberg sent me when she sent that lovely package of blush stuff. I suspect, based on the piece, that this was like a lace overlay to a garment. You know, where they've got a lining of one color and then and this is just ribbon. And for the first time, I used this idea on fabric. And this was a bit of a little, this was like the skirt of from a little girl's dress. So this stitch that you see here is called kantha, K-A-N-T-H-A. As simple as the day is long. Now on all of these that I've pre-done, I just used regular sewing thread. Double thickness though, or white thread. So I pre-threaded a needle, but I did want to show, I threaded this with 3 strands of embroidery floss, simply because I thought I hadn't done that yet, and also because it would be easier to see because it's a bit thicker than regular sewing thread. So for those of you who haven't discovered or been told about this earth-shattering technique for making knots, I'll demo it again. So you basically thread your needle, and you lay your needle parallel to the tail end of your thread. And then you wrap it around 2 or 3 times. And then simply with your thumb and forefinger, slide it. Oops, that blue guy doesn't belong there. Slide it down. Oh, I'm so busy talking that let's try that again. Okay. Needle parallel to the tail of your thread. Wrap it around 2 or 3 times. And I guess the number of times you wrap it around is going to be determined, the fabric that you intend to be sewing through will determine how many times you want to wrap it. If it's a very open weave, then you want a bigger knot so it doesn't pull through. If it's a dense weave, it's not as necessary. Okay, so I'm getting close to the end. It's a miracle. Yay. Nice and close to the end. Easy peasy. So I also have another needle pre-threaded with white sewing thread, and this is double-stranded. So same principle, needle parallel to the tail end of your thread. Pull, 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 pull. Now this is a little more tricky because of the double strand. Okay, so this one got kind of buggered up here. Let's try that again. I hope that all of you have been well. I know that my cold in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, is really nothing. Okay, pull, 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 pull. Let's see what we have. Whoop. Let's see what we have here. Now this knot is quite tiny, so I may just do it again. That will, of course, serve to make a bigger knot. And then because I do have a little bit of a longer tail here, I'll just trim that off, because usually you don't want a very long tail. Okay, so we'll set that aside for the time being. Where is this blue thread coming from? Anyway, okay, so I've got my 3 strands of embroidery thread. Now, I'll show you what I have. So here's another piece of that pink fabric. It's like a cotton, but you can see it really frays. And so far, you can see that this was gathered here. So far, I'm leaving those threads, because, kind of a shabby chic look. Oh, and I should show you what's inside. Now, you're not going to have this, perhaps, because Kim didn't send you a piece of old quilted fabric, old quilt. But when I was squaring off those pieces, if you saw that video, you know that it wasn't totally squared off, which is totally fine. But I had strips that were left, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to throw this away. So I just used what was left. So it's got the little bit of batting and, the 2 pieces of fabric that encased it. So that really is quite a nice little base to be using. This would be the same. This is more of that lace, and again, ratty-tatty, but that's great. These are, you know what? I bet you these are all pieces from that quilt. Another thing that I did differently this time is I used some of this avocado dyed, okay, what do you call this stuff? You know this stuff. It comes in all sorts of widths. It's usually gathered. This is just some sort of lace, again, avocado dyed. Kim gave that, and this is just a plain old white lace that is, you know, a little wider. So you can see that these are all different sizes. Oh, here's another piece of whatever this stuff is called. Another piece of that. Okay, and another piece of that ribbon. So I've got my embroidery thread. Now, a person likes to you'd like to use a longer piece of thread. Here's this little culprit again. A person likes to use a longer piece of thread because then you're not going to have to knot it, you know, midway. But it also is more likely to get tangled up. So basically, oh, I started saying about the middle of these things. In the past, of course, I've made these in the past. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I didn't look for any today to show you because I've been hoarding them, of course. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a piece of old quilt to put in between, that totally does not matter. You can either use a scrap piece of felt, and you would either want it to be something that matches, because it would be visible through these lacy type fabrics. On this and this, it doesn't matter because it's covered. Or you would want to use a contrasting color if that's your intention. So basically, I don't really want my knot to show, so I would just go in from the inside, knowing that my knot would then be on the inside as well. So basically, I'm sorry, all we're doing here is trying to essentially quilt this. So I think what I've learned with some of these pieces that I pre-did, if I can find one, I began having my thread go over the edge. So let's just do that. And again, how you choose to do this is totally up to you, but let's just pretend that that's what we want to do here. We want to enclose this. So my first stitch is essentially going to close up the side. I don't think, see now this, because it continues to fray, this would probably be a good strategy on this particular piece of fabric. So basically, okay, let's not make a mistake on camera. I just poked myself. So basically, it's just basically it's just an up and down stitch. And how long or short or irregular you want to make it is your call. Now this, if it looks like I'm struggling a bit to get this through, remember I'm going through 5 layers. Chances are you're not going to be doing that. So, and of course, I've got only about 3 million needles, but I'll tell you, it's not that easy to find the right one with an eye that's big enough for you to see to thread. And this one is obviously big, and sufficiently sharp to actually go through the fabric. Sharps tend to have smaller eyes, and frankly, I don't know who invented. When I was pre-threading this just a while ago, I picked up a bunch of needles, and the eye is almost invisible to the naked eye. And I'm thinking, who invented this? Certainly nobody wearing progressive lenses. Anyway, so you can see that this is a great portable craft if you're the passenger in a car, or if you were watching TV. Well, listening to TV. I'm sorry. Aren't you glad that germs can't spread via YouTube? So I'm not going to do the whole thing because this is so simple that doing one row was enough for you to see what you need to see. And again, I could make these stitches longer or shorter, closer together. I could have my rows closer. Oh, this is what I mean about the longer the thread, the more you end up with some of this happening where it would like to tangle. And you know, every so often, it doesn't hurt. Now, I can't really demonstrate that well on here. To just pick up your project and let the needle dangle and let it untwist itself if that is part of what is causing the problem. So I'll just finish this row and then I'll show you what the next step is. And again, you know, you are in control of picking all your component pieces, whether you choose lace or fabric. I still haven't thought of what that word is. Okay, yell it at the TV. Yell it at your screen. Maybe somehow through telepathy I'll hear it. And of course, this is one of the early, really basic, simple as the day is long stitches in the slow stitching movement. And it's surprising how, even if you never learn another stitch, just adding this little bit of hand stitching to whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's maybe a journal cover. Ow. Guess I can almost take that guy out. Whether you're doing it to a journal cover or a bit of... okay, so you're probably wondering, well, what are these things? Well, they can be tabs on the side of a page, top of a page. They could be, you know, a decoration on... They could be the sort of a topper on a tag. Okay, I'm just... Maybe what I'll do, I'll make this one a little longer. Again, I'll just enclose this, the side of this piece. Now on this side, so far I haven't done that. I guess I should try to do that occasionally too, although this is the more unruly side. Now again, am I going to leave those threads? No idea. Anyway, let's put this aside and go on to the next step. Okay, so assuming that at some point I get all those stitched, I did this over, you know, a few evenings or whatever watching TV. So I was saying that these could be tabs on the side of a page. Let's just pull in this book of, this book of mine and pretend, okay, suppose we wanted one here, so maybe we'd do that. So again, after this is done, more than likely it would be just glued to the page. Now this is probably a bit wide for this, but you know, it doesn't really matter. It would also look good, you know, at the top of a page like so. And I guess how you finish it in the next step will partly predetermine where you can use it. So the next step is essentially just to add a charm. Trying to put this thing away. Not exactly cooperating. Okay, so I pulled out some possible charms. So this is the fanciest of all. So, well, maybe let's do, okay, so I've got my pre-threaded thing. Now this is where the fold was. Now in each of these cases, I folded it over an edge. But if you didn't have a large enough piece to do that, you could certainly use 2 smaller pieces, and then you'd have it open on all 4 sides. Doesn't matter. Use what you have. Let's use this angel or whatever this is. Okay, so this is my closed side. So maybe if I'm thinking that this may be used on the side of a page, I would attach my angel here. I could do it closer to the bottom so that it dangles even further. But I think I'll just do it kind of midway. So now I probably don't even need that ring there, but maybe I don't want to take the time to remove, unless that seems kind of unnecessary, but I don't want to take the time to look for my tools. Let's pick another one. Or let's use this B. It'll be a little bigger. On this one, I'll take that extra ring off because that's unnecessary. Had my nails done yesterday, so I'm always in between stages. I'm either they're getting too long and I can't pick anything up, or they're too short and I can't pick anything up. There's probably about half an hour where it's just right. So basically, I'm just going up and down over that ring. So it is going to mean that it is secured, but there will also be some movement there, which is kind of nice, frankly. And again, I'm stabbing this through many layers. And when you're, excuse me, when you're using a double thread, you kind of want to make sure that the tension on both threads is the same. Otherwise, you end up with a loop, and that won't look that good. So I'll just, do this a few more times. Not that anyone's going to be yanking on it, but, we do want it to be secured. This is a very big ring on this B, so the stitching through it almost becomes part of the decoration because it's such a gigantic ring. Now, I've chosen these charms, with the exception of this one, and I probably, would I use this one? I don't know. I'd have to see. Maybe this, well, let's finish this and I'll do another one. Okay, that's good enough. Basically, I'm just running my needle. I'm trying to hide my thread, so I'm running it under the surface. Maybe I'll do that twice. Again, no one is going to be looking at this and saying, oh my goodness, that stitching is just so inappropriate. You can see there's still movement there. Now, so the way to have a nice secure knot, I'll do this one more time. I'm going to go under the fabric a bit. If I can get it through, I'm going to go under the fabric. Now, I've already wrapped it a couple of times. You saw that happen. And then when I have this loop here, this snare, I'm going to put my needle through here, and that is what is going to make the knot. And because probably this is overkill, I'll do it again. Again, just loop it, put it through that, like so. Cut it off nice and close. And there we have it. Okay, let's make a knot here in this thread again. Same old thing. parallel to the needle, wrap it around a few times. The thinner the thread, the more wraps you want to give it. Okay, so this one is longer. Let me figure this is my right side, not that it's going to matter because both sides will be visible. So maybe in this case, I would want to have this more dimensional thing closer to the edge, because that way it would clear, when the book is closed, it would clear the text block, so to speak. I hope that isn't too high. So I'll secure this and then I'll show you. Actually, maybe my thread isn't overly long, so I won't, cut it and re-knot it. But I think, if you can see, I'm going to leave this longish thread here because I want this to basically clear the, I should have put my needle in closer to the edge, but I didn't, so now we'll just make the best of it. So, okay, stay down there. I want to get my needle through closer to the edge. Oops, don't want to pull it up too high, so basically just going through. So now, yes, that thread is visible there, which is maybe unfortunate, or who cares really. And I'm just going to I'm going to do this a few more times. Whoops, let's aim through the ring. And again, just above the little metal eye there, metal loop on the dangle. I probably, in a perfect world, should have re-threaded the needle to use whatever color it was that I used on the actual quilting part. So that is obviously secure enough, and you can see that that will now dangle at the edge of a page. Again, now I've got, oh, that's quite a long tail. How come I didn't trim that beforehand? So again, I'm just going to work this under a couple of times. And then this time I'm going to go back through the loop, make a knot, do that again. Oh, see what I mean about keeping the tension right? Let's see if I can fix that. Probably not, because I made the knot already. I suppose it's not the end of the world, because I am going to trim, so that loopy loop thing will not be visible. Okay, so there are two examples of finished ones. Now, of course, I'm showing you what I saw in that original video. I could also be sewing on sequins, or wait, I have somewhere here. Oh, those are just beads. Beads. Where the heck? Let's pretend. Ay. Oh, well, let's do this. Don't want to use my point of my scissors. Sorry, I'm just looking for my staple puller. I don't know why this was cut off. I'm thinking maybe if, you know, it's like many other types of merchandise. They go into a store, and if they don't sell, they're returned. It could also be a button that gets sewn on. And in fact, since this is such a big piece of fabric here, mind you, that would look good on there too. Let's put it on here. That's what I'll do. You don't need to see that. I mean, you all know about buttons, how to sew buttons on. And this is, I mean, this is a shank button, but look how slimline it is. So that could easily work there. So anyway, don't be limited by what you see here. Think outside the box. You know, like I said, sequins could work, beads could, flattish beads could work. You don't want something like this. Although, actually is this a bead or a button? I can't remember. This was, I think I took apart a necklace. So have this. You know, this is a very simple way to decorate a paper clip. But I'll tell you, it is not that easy to find the right bead that will go around all those curves. If it's too long, it doesn't work. Oh, that's, I wouldn't use this on there. I don't think I really have any flat beads here. I will be, I think in the words of Angela, the traveling crafter, she said, oh, come to the dark side and make a gigantic, look at how nice that is. Make a gigantic spine dangle. So even though Kim gave me a very beautiful one, I'll tell you what this is. Anyone who, any of the ladies out there who wear a bra or a lingerie or anything with a strap will recognize these sorts of pieces. They are very flat, of course, and in this case, oh, here's a button. In this case, also, see, there's also this bead here, but, Anyway, they're flat, and in this case, they're also painted to whatever, to match the garment that was. Anyway, okay, so I got sidetracked like squirrel. Use charms, use buttons, use sequins, use flattish beads. This is the wrong color, but this is a brooch. I think Kim sent me this as well, so I intend to work this in probably into a topper idea. Anyway, I love this idea. If you know who first posted it, by all means, tell me in the comments, because I really would like to link the woman's video and give credit where credit is due, because it truly is a brilliant idea. And I'm going to keep on keeping on, and I hope you do too. So, great way to use up scraps. Great way to use up charms. I didn't even look for my whole drawer or whole container of charms, but anyway. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your likes, your subscriptions, and your comments. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.